last one on this. Is he getting a job?
No, I don't think he's going to get a job. I don't think he wants a job, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants a job. I think he deserves it in the sense that he's been brave. It's a breath of fresh air. Again, like I said, he's come from the under-21s. He's won with them. And I think he deserves his chance. But if he's saying, hopefully, to some of the questions about, do you want to go back to under-21s? That doesn't really stand yourself in good stead.
No,
I think he's a bit of a shrinking violet. Now, that might work for him in the under-21s.
Yeah.
But like everyone said here, you might need to show
That's a shame, man. Because even his first squad, I thought, yes, we've got someone there who's going to...
It's new, innit? Yeah.
I think England have shot themselves in the foot a little bit because, like, people are saying Howe is kind of the favourites now, but apparently they got to pay like $6 million to get him out of the Newcastle contract. If he were going to be the manager, why didn't they do that in the summer when they knew?
Yeah, it was up in
I
the
think
air.
that's a very good fit.
Yeah. So
Eddie Howe, I think that's a very
I'm not too sure. I think that's a little bit like the Harry Redknapp clamour from years ago. I don't know if it's a good fit. I think people just latching onto him because he seems like he's a good enough manager.
It's not
and
just
he's young enough, that kind of stuff.
I'm going back to the Bournemouth.
Okay.
I
What
think
part of the Bournemouth, the relegation? Or?
no, but where he took them from?
I'm just asking.
That was a nasty one,
That question was seasons.
Just checking. Let's give everyone a balanced view of this Bournemouth time, innit?
100%.
No, but I think
he stayed 4 seasons, then got relegated, right?
No, but he took them from League One
all the way up.
All the way up.
Yeah.
So you got to, you know what I mean?
And solidified that style because any Bournemouth manager that comes now, they all have to kind of play. I'm not saying he.
a style of they have to play.
The current Bournemouth manager's playing Eddie Howe.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying there's a style that they keep. There's a culture of football that he's embedded at Bournemouth.
And he was the coach that.
You know,
and
the Newcastle job is big.
Johnny's not having it at all, man. He's not having it at all.
You just connected bare things that don't connect.
They do connect, John.
Well, the guy came in and they had a problem for 3 months because he changed everything. The players were struggling and then it clicked. So what part of what he left there is still there?
Gary O'Neill was there.
Yeah.
So,
I thought you just said it. I thought you just said they maintained it.
Barker was there.
Let's not forget.
Scott Barker was there.
So the Eddie Howe thing didn't stay then?
Well, it still did.
Okay,
we're on
you're the same page.
So bring all of us to that page as well then.
What we're saying, all right, I'll give you an example. West Ham, innit? West Ham, this beautiful young talent, etc. And don't get me wrong. What we're saying here, which I agree with, is Eddie Howe implemented the culture of we're going to play football. No matter, even if we came out of the Championship, we're going to play football.
And the board were on board and they rose from, as I said, League One to the Prem.
And to be fair, some of their hirings have been based off of wanting to replicate elements of that 100%. They wanted Parker to do that. Ariola's now doing that. So to be fair, I do agree.
I'm sorry, did Scott Parker wanting to play football?
No, we're not saying that, but they're keeping it.
It's like the ethos. It's like the ethos they're trying to say. Like
they're trying to maintain it.
It's like the Arsenal fan.
Arsenal way or the West Ham way. That's sort of
George Graham way.
And all of that's a fallacy. We talked about it. It's like the Tottenham fans that say the Tottenham. What Tottenham way?
Tottenham's way is just spoiling.
Yeah. If you look at Eddie Howe's trajectory, you can't say he shouldn't be in the frame.
I didn't say that. It was the support for why he should be the job. I'm just questioning. That's all. That's what I'm questioning. I don't think it's a bad.
job.
I don't know yet with him, right? Because he's done well, but he's not quite crossed the line anyway. You could argue, obviously, he's never had the resources of the team. So I always look at, maybe correctly or incorrectly, as national team job. We just talked about it's England and all of that. So he probably ticked all the boxes in front of the media and he's dealt with them, your Prem manager, etc. But I just see it as a certain level. And I don't know if he's done enough for the club level. I'm not saying what I'm saying is logical. We've seen unknowns go in there and do it. Carsley has at least international, done tournament ball, won a tournament, etc., etc. We'll see what they do.
Can I say one point? I think if Newcastle, obviously there's a lot of contention in terms of what happened in the Champions League with them. I think they were like 1 result away. I think if Newcastle get to that knockout stage of the Champions League, I think it's a very different conversation. I literally think that one result, because remember they got to the Champions League and then they were like narrowly, that group was crazy. I think if he then progresses, if he then progresses, and look, we got to the final. Dortmund got to the final from that group as well. So if he then progresses from there, I think a lot of people are like, oh, it should definitely go to him. And I think there's like one game that's essentially kind of almost shifted a little bit of him. Because last year they didn't have the season that they should have done. But if you look at towards the end, with the injuries, the Tonali situation, he had a lot to manage and still kept them like close, and they weren't too far away from Europe considering everything that happened as well. So
last thing I'm going to say on the Eddie Howe, I like the fact that obviously at Bournemouth he had that particular style. I didn't like Newcastle 2 seasons ago. I called them the Detroit Pistons.
Bro,
Remember?
fuck.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
no, but I like that.
Yeah.
Because that shows me this guy, depending on the club and what is needed, he can adapt. And let's just say last season or 2 seasons ago, Newcastle's the game you didn't want.
Yeah.
You knew it's not going to be like Bournemouth. Yeah, we'll get chances and he's gonna, no horrible team.
If I'm him, I don't take that job though.
And even us, we've said Newcastle have got no superstars.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
look how they're performing.
I don't. If I'm him, I don't take that job though. I think
the England.
because I think
Pressure
he's
as well.
no, not even that.
Well,
He's in the
manager.
queue. The next decent job that comes up in the UK, he's
You reckon?
yeah, he's not far away from it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
I don't know.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
I think
What? Yeah, what job? Stick your neck out the line. What job? 'Cause I don't know if
A
that's true.
few,
You
a
know.
few jobs have come up. Like Chelsea, he was never considered for, and
Liverpool.
that would have been a step up. The Liverpool, he wasn't
Yeah.
considered for as well.
Yeah, I'm saying- no, I'm just saying.
United, it
But what-
looks like it
No.
could happen as well. I think the next big job that's going to be available for him is England.
Yeah.
I don't see him going to another club.
I think he would do well at Man United.
I think he would.
I think he
I
would.
think he
Yeah,
would.
I
I mean,
don't
wait,
think- I don't think
and we
Chelsea
back-
would
and
go
we-
for him.
until they
I
fix
don't think
up
they go
and
for
we
him.
boardroom
banter
level,
them.
I don't know if
Well, I
that's
don't-
even a good job.
I don't think they go for him.
I don't think they go for him, one, because of the cost,
Yeah.
right? And I never thought I'd say that about Man United, but anyway. And I honestly, I think he could do well there. And I know they are where they are, but it's still a big job.
I agree.
I think it's still a big job. I don't think he gets in Arsenal, but he was talked about, right?
Yeah.
He was.
He was talked about a lot.
Oh, when he was at Bournemouth, when he was
Yeah.
at Bournemouth, he was, to be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the relegation.
No, but you know
before,
what? I don't
he
even
was
think it's
spoke
a
about
big job per se. I think if anything, it would be like a sideways move. I think some like Spurs, if they got rid of the
Ange.
Aussie,
It's
Yeah,
I
a
wouldn't
it's a
want
bigger
him.
job than Newcastle job, though.
or Spurs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that. Yeah,
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 that was-
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
no,
It's a
it
bigger
is.
job. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's-
Yeah.
how they
So-
performed over the last couple of years, I'd say it's probably linear, like sideways move.
Mm.
It won't,
Yeah.
it won't be like a upward trajectory.
That's
Stature wise, yes, but like in
Yeah.
terms of what
Last
Newcastle
couple
and
of years,
It would have
Spurs
been
have been doing.
interesting if Chelsea maybe looked at him. Because I think that would have made a lot of sense for
But
me.
after
Considering
Potter,
after
I think it's,
Potter,
yeah,
about
too
after
close.
Poch,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
Potter.
Yeah.
Potter, yeah.
Oh,
Potter,
yeah.
yeah.
Too close
I
after
Yeah,
Potter.
but no, even now when
Too many
Poch went, because
English
remember
Yeah,
the
yeah.
talk with him was kind of there. So now when Poch went, I was like, oh, could they potentially look at him? But
Or maybe his brand of football isn't what they wanted.
Which is his brand of football now?
Eddie.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah.
fuckball,
Yeah.
like just
No,
kicking
no,
people
because
and all
he's
that
gone
kind of
from,
madness.
remember, the
WWF.
relegation.
WWE.
this, you know.
Well, he's got
And now
two
he's
UFC
football.
fighters in the centre.
Bro,
Yeah.
the way he's
Nah,
turned.
nah,
Joe
it-
Lance.
it- it-
And you know, furthermore, that's credit to him. Because, bro,
You see?
Adaptability.
Wellington from up front,
You see?
put him centre mid.
Yeah.
Wellington's like, all right. He's taken Burns and was like, and don't get me wrong,
Bro.
I think but he
You're
gets a
onto
shootout.
Burns, innit? Yeah, you're onto Burns, I saw you.
But he gets
I
a
saw
shootout
you.
Burns.
You rate him?
Yeah.
But he's not
Nah,
having
oh,
it.
he hates him. Yeah, I understand.
No,
Yeah.
he don't rate Bowen. He
That's
doesn't rate
a
Bowen. That's
lie.
another story.
He's lying on me. We'll talk
You know what's
about this.
crazy? A couple of years ago, that would have been Liverpool signing Jared Bowen. But we digress.
Yeah.
We digress. So,
Yeah.
but if you look at him
No,
anyway,
lie.
I think he's shown characteristics to be able to change managers, change players
Yeah.
for a position. Like, look what the piece of work he's done with Anthony Gordon.
Oh,
Mm.
Like,
preach.
That's your guy, innit?
That-
Yeah.
Oi.
I like this guy.
Like,
No, like it's synergy. Yeah.
so-
Brother, you
Look-
playing the Costa front.
Yeah.
The Man City game for me, false 9. I was like, I didn't even know this guy had it in the locker.
Yeah.
You know what? It pains me to say this to you of all people, but yeah, you're right.
Him as well. What is
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
But he's been cold
I
from
saw
Everton,
that.
though, to
I
be
saw
fair.
that.
Joe Linton.
He's been cold from Everton.
I
Look at
wasn't
Eddie's been
sure
like
about
that
the move because
false
remember
nine.
again, Chelsea looked at him and weren't going to pay the money for him, and then he went, and then it was
And then he's also, you got to look at who he's having involvement in signing. Harvey Barnes. We're like, for fantasy football, we're like, oh, let's put
nah, he's a
Harvey
good player.
Barnes in.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Like, he's picking out
Harvey
identified
Barnes.
players.
I like him. He's a good
Harvey
player,
Barnes.
Like,
Harvey
I
Barnes is a
think
good
I think
player.
we're not giving him the full credit that he deserves. But the one question I was going to ask though, after the interview on was it Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that give Prem teams confidence in Carsley?
I don't think.
if there's a job beyond the
Beyond-
international.
You know what? You're onto something.
But you know what? That it's weird. If you manage international teams and then go back into club football, it hardly ever works out. I don't think Lee Carsley would even want a job like that.
Well, this is the other thing I was going to say when we were saying go with someone else. Where does Lee Carsley go then? You can't manage on the 21s for 10 years.
Nah, you
course
know
he
what?
can.
Everton.
Yeah. What, you reckon you go back to
I
Everton?
don't think so.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays for them.
He played for them, yeah, but I don't know if you
He
want to
can
go.
improve their football.
Mm.
And
Do you
obviously,
understand?
yeah, they're not
They
looking.
might not because obviously with
You know,
but-
another
That was
one
in
could
the
be as
interview.
well though. Someone like a Fulham. Like say that Marco Silva goes,
Yeah.
he could be a nice
Mhm.
transition into what
go
they've
to
done.
Lots of young players, etc.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Because
think
my
that
thing
could
is,
work.
obviously,
That's
you
the
can
kind of
manage, you
range,
can manage
yeah.
under 21 for 10 years, but I'm guessing someone like him, to even get to that point, you're fairly ambitious. He's recruited young staff that are ambitious, want to get, Julian Lescott, etc. Everyone's trying to go on a trajectory. So if he's trying to get somewhere, so if it's not the England job, that's a really good question because
I think
then it's club football.
I think he goes back into the Championship because he managed Brentford for like a interim piece. I don't
He
think
did
he goes.
Birmingham though. Didn't he?
Oh yeah, so he was the interim manager for like a Championship team. I don't think he goes back straight
So
to
wait,
the Prem.
I
Yeah,
win.
Birmingham,
I-
Coventry.
Wait, so
Yeah.
I win a tournament on 21s and I go and
But I
manage the
think
championship.
that's the person he is. Like he
I
I
don't
don't
want
think
you as
he
my
needs
agent,
that
blood.
spotlight
This
of
is
big job. I think he
interesting,
goes somewhere in the Championship and does an Eddie Howe, builds a brand of football, gets that team up, and then takes it from
If he
there.
goes to manage a club in the championship after this, he's wasted his time.
Mm.
I don't think so. Like
Yes.
people say it's too big for him to go from under 21s to England.
I'm not saying that.
That's why I said people.
Yeah. All right.
I never said that. I just
I-
what
I'm
you
saying-
said.
No,
But-
these are these. Oh, you said.
Yeah, no,
I just
okay,
think he
no,
ain't got the
people-
characteristics.
Yeah.
for it.
But why?
But there's Prem jobs that are smaller than the England job.
But it's
He doesn't have to go to the championship.
It's still the Premier League, though.
yeah, but that's the thing. Like the
Nah,
spotlight
man.
is still there.
League,
Like
yeah.
I think the shouts
interviews, like the interviews you get in the Championship are not the same interviews that you get week in week out in the Premier League. And I think he would build himself.
Yeah, but
up
you
to
don't
that.
get-
Or what you might get is, like for instance, we've got like the three teams that are there at the moment. You got your Southamptons, you got your Ipswich, and you got the other team that came up. If one of their managers goes, then he's on that kind of cusp of could be one of the
Forest,
teams.
Leicester.
Yeah.
I don't think he has to go down to the.
Where did
Championship.
Cooper come from?
Yeah.
Forest, the Leicester
Oh,
Yeah,
manager.
he done Forest.
21.
He did
Yeah,
under
Leicester,
21. Yeah.
yeah.
And to your point earlier, I wasn't even going to go that low. I was going to say, you don't get that scrutiny being the manager of Fulham, bro. No one cares.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's
It's
true.
true. If Marcus Silva's having a pizza on a Thursday in Fulham, but no one cares.
Yeah.
If you're the Man United manager, yeah, it gets written about. So,
Yeah, I think so.
I think is the job too big for him from a football point of view? I don't think so. But the points you guys have made is very true. Maybe for him as an individual, it came out a bit too big for him. But listen, everyone's had that when they stepped up. You get promoted at work. You do that first Zoom call.
Yeah.
It's a bit techie.
Your head is
You learn
swimming.
from it.
Looking for your notes.
Yeah. Umin and Aaron.
Yeah,
You don't think you want to go back to the next
hand like on the Zoom call.
That's the thing
boy.
you don't say, innit? You don't say, I kind of miss my old department.
Yeah, I want to go back down.
Where you have the first one to have your boss. How's it going in the new job?
I
I want to
miss my
go
old-
back to that.
Yeah, you're not going to say that. For me, that's just like, I'm out of my
Yeah.
depth.
This one was